Charlie, how do you weigh up the competing impacts of skyrocketing cases and good vaccine news for your basket of stocks, which tends to be the sort of value cyclicals?
Short-term versus long-term. In fact, in this case, short-term versus medium-term. In the short term, we're clearly had some bad news, no doubt about it, on the coronavirus front, no doubt about it on some restrictions on closing things. But we've learned as a country, I think, and President Biden has said that big lockdowns don't work, and so I don't think we're going to have March lockdowns. And so in the short term, absolutely going to be some headwinds. But I think by April, I think we're going to start having enough vaccines that we're going to start getting down the road towards herd immunity. And when people can see that, these cyclical names that you just mentioned, the banks, the industrials, which are still very cheap, are going to perform very well.
So you still put them in the very cheap category, Charlie, even though November's been a pretty blowout month so far for a lot of cyclical stocks?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to illustrate this with Goldman Sachs, trading for less than book value. They have a balance sheet made up of securities that are valued every day. You take the value of that, all those stocks and bonds that they own, Goldman Sachs is trading for less than that price today. Viacom is trading at 8 times earnings. So we have lots and lots and lots of value names that are still very cheap. And when we get a better yield curve, which we're going to get with more inflation, then a lot of these bank stocks are going to do much better.
Karen out with a list of post-vaccine stock winners, and they look quite similar to the stay-at-home winners of the pandemic. Karen says that everything at home environment we're living in now has driven a permanent change in behavior. And the firm predicts stocks like Netflix, Amazon, Teladoc and Peloton will continue to be winners post-pandemic. Karen also believes the curbside pickup trend is no longer temporary and will become a permanent element of the shopping experience. The firm says essential retailers like Walmart and Target should continue to lead. Charlie, why don't I come to you first on that as well, because is that something you disagree with, or can you also accept that some of the stay-at-home COVID winners will continue to outperform long-term, not just this past year?
Yeah, so here we need to make the differentiation between companies and stocks. These companies are going to do fine. These are great companies, but they're not great stocks. Many of them are overvalued stocks that got a huge boost from the fact that people were looking for the growth and were looking for stocks that were not cyclical, and so they bought the Pelotons of the world. They bought insurance stocks like Progressive, which do very well when there are not many people driving. Those companies are great companies. They're going to continue to be great companies, but they are overpriced stocks, and now is not the time to buy them.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.